Learning a new piece of software can be difficult. I'm here to give you a short introduction into Storybreaker, the software that I've been making for the last 5 years. The first thing we want to do is download Storybreaker. We could do this by going to noveltoolkit.com/download and pressing on the Windows link. When we press that, you can see it's downloading here in Chrome at the bottom. And then we can press open. You'll get this warning on your Windows PC, and to get around it, just press More Info and Run Anyway. And then you can choose if you want it only for you or if you want for all users on your computer, and press Next. Choose the location you want to save and press Next again. And then run Storybreaker. When you first run Storybreaker, you'll get this screen here. As you can see, there's only one thing to do on this screen, which is select your save location. The save location is where all of the text files that save all of your information are going to be, along with all the pictures and anything else you want to save. So if we press on this link, we then get a browser, a file browser, where we can go to a location on our computer. So if I set up a folder, you'll notice that I'm setting it up on my Google Drive. If you have OneDrive or any other kind of file syncing technology, it's a good idea to set it up there, because then every change you make to all of those files will be saved. I personally use Google Drive. If we select that folder, we then get all of these options up. We have a number of options up here, and we also have these options here on our screen. Currently the dictionary is set to UK English. You can press on that if you want to change it. Maybe change to US English if you're in the United States. If we go back to our first screen by pressing Home, the first thing we can do is we can add a new world. So let's add a world and call it Demo World. And when we add it, if we press Close, you go back to the screen, you can see your existing worlds. So when we press on See Your Existing Worlds, we can see Demo World is now available. If we want to change any of the details about Demo World, we can always press here on Summary Details to change them. So for example, this is a Demo World. When we press Close, then we've got that. We can also set an image if we want to. Once we press Open on Demo World, then that's where you get all the world building tools available. So we can brainstorm. If we press on Brainstorm here, we can ask some kind of question we want to answer. So what is Demo World? And then we can write in any answers we want. Demo World is a world for demos. And when we press Tab, it'll add a new idea field. World help you use the system. Anytime we press Tab, it adds a new ideas field for us. When we go back by pressing Close, we then see that we have What is Demo World saved, and we can go back into it anytime we want and see all the details. If I press Close and then press Close again, I go back to the World Tools. And you can see I have tools for characters, creatures and races, groups and factions, and so on. Lots of different things we can save about our world. If we press on characters, this works in a similar way to ideas. We press Add, but here obviously we have a lot more fields because it's not just ideas. So if we write demo character, we can then choose a role. Maybe they're the hero in the story. We can choose if they're alive, dead, or injured. Which is very useful when you're writing series, to know if characters have died in a previous book. We have no locations yet, so we'll leave that blank. And then this is the hero we can write as our character description. When we press Close, we go back here. You see there's no image because I didn't choose an image. If I want to, I can choose an image here and go into my pictures. And then a website that I find very useful is This Person Does Not Exist, because then if you add this person's photo as your characters, you've no worries about this person existing and not perhaps liking their image being used. So if we press close, we can go back and then we see the actual character's image appear. And then as you add characters, this list will fill up. We can press close again. Now, if we want to start working on a story, we can press stories here in the top. And you see we have no stories yet. So if we press add here and write demo story, this is a demo story. And press close. Now we have our first demo story. So we can press summary details anytime we like, go back in here and change things. If we want to put an image for the book, the cover, for example, we can do that. Then we have three options here. We have outlining, which is the most useful part of this Storybreaker tool. We have first draft, which is if you want to write a first draft here directly from the outline. This is only for first drafts. It's not for writing your entire novel and editing it. It's only to get the first draft out and then copy it out into another tool like Microsoft Word or Scrivener or something like that for writing the actual story. And then the last thing is export, where if you've written a first draft, you can export all of the story into a Word document. So if we press on outline, then in a similar way to the worlds, we now get all of the outlining tools. There's one here highlighted at the top, you can see, story outline. Story outline is the core of your outline. This is where you put all of the information about your actual story. So if we say demo act 1 and press plus, the demo character learns about the fate of their world. And then if I write demo act 2 and press plus again, decides to fight back, for example, and so on. I can add as many acts as I want. For each of these acts, I can press the open button, and then I can actually create chapters within an act. So I press the plus again. And create all of the chapters one by one, same as I did for acts. I can also press open here, and I can go into scenes. So I can say demo scene 1 and press the plus. Demo character is asleep in bed. And then I can also go into subscenes. So subscenes are smaller bits of a scene to keep to allow you to remember to put certain things into a scene, like, oh, the demo character should pick up their sword, for example. Because without it, maybe they aren't able to fight back. So if we want to go back up a level, we can press on these X's. So we go up to chapters, we go up to acts. We can also move these acts up and down by pressing the up arrows and down arrows. So we can switch them around. And we can delete anything we want as well by pressing the trash button. If we press close a few more times, there we go. Then we get back to the outlining tools. So apart from the core outline, which is where you're actually building your story, you might need help to create the story. And there's lots of different tools to do that. So the most famous one is probably Hero's Journey, which if we click here, we can enter a name. And we can enter all the details of the hero's journey. If we press close on that, we then have Hero's Journey in our list again. We can do lots of other ways to outline stories. The one I tend to use when I start out is a snowflake. So a snowflake is where you start with a simple sentence. snowflake. So demo character has to save the world. And then you take that sentence and expand it into a paragraph, and so on, until you have expanded and start to get an idea of how your story works. If we go back again, the other things that are a little bit different than most outlining methods you might be used to are the timelines. So if we press on timeline 1, and when we add, we're adding days to our timeline. And you can click on any of these days. And then enter whatever events are happening. You can also change the color if you want to. So other than that, that's pretty much it for how to get started on Storybreaker. Important things otherwise to mention are up here in the menu. If you've selected worlds that you're working on or stories you're working on, all of these tools have shortcuts. So we can press on our most recent world, for example, and go straight to demo world. We can go to outlining and go to our most recent story. We can also, when we've gone into our most recent story, we can just go straight to an outlining method, for example, snowflakes. And on every screen, you'll see that there's a help button. If you press the help button, it will let you see help about all the different buttons that are on the screen. So click this button to add a new item, for example. Click any item on the list to edit it, and so on. I hope this demonstration has been useful. Please let me know if you find any bugs or if you have any feedback. And happy writing.